Late Talker families. Mary Camarata here. Today I wanted to talk to you about those really early days when you are getting little inklings that maybe your child's talking is a little bit later, but maybe not, and you're starting to get concerned, but you're not getting super concerned. And you know it starts to creep into your mind. It starts to creep into your mind. Just wait. I don't want to go. I don't want to get a label. I don't want to make this thing a reality. I don't want it to be, make it a big thing when it's not. I'll just wait. Lord willing and the creek don't rise. It'll just become a phase and they're just talking a little bit later. I don't need to go in for an evaluation. I understand that feeling. I understand it from my practice. I understand it personally as well. So I just wanted to mention something. You can talk to your pediatrician and get a referral to several speech language pathologists, do your parent-only appointment, find one you like, and then communicate with them and say, you know what? I'm not really looking for a big differential diagnosis. What I want from you is, here I am with my little 18-month-old or 20-month-old or maybe even older, whatever, whenever you start getting a little bit of an uh-oh feeling and say, you know what? I'd like to learn how to help them. The thing that's most important for me is to learn how to really support their language just in case. And the whole idea of coming in for a full eval and a differential diagnosis is just something I would like to, actually, I'm tempted to shy away from that. And so communicate that to your speech path. And you know what? There's so much that you're doing as a parent. There's so much that parents do in language interaction that's so enriching for their child. And we do it as parents almost instinctively. But how wonderful for you to learn exactly what that interaction is. In fact, a big part of that is called a transactional model. We want to boost the transactions. And guess what? That's good for anybody. That's going to help talking, whether your child is late talking, medium talking, or precocious in talking. Wouldn't it be wonderful for everyone to say, you know what? I'd like a course in how to be a language and communication promoter as a parent, and not even really think too much about, specific differential diagnoses or disorders. In those very early stages, please just teach me about those wonderful things I can do at home in the course of my day to support my child's language. What are those interactions that are impactful, that we know are most impactful for developing and supporting language? Once you're aware of what those are, and once you watch yourself and you can identify them, and when I can identify them, that you practice doing them intentionally, even though you do them quite a bit anyway. On average, we see that parents give a very rich language transaction that is in response to their child's initiation, where they have their child's direct attention and actually give them back something that is what we call within their zone of development. That happens on average about maybe a dozen to a couple dozen times a day, where it's a very rich interaction. There are less rich transactions that go on, but I mean that kind, that's very proximal and rich. What if you learned about that, and then you could do it intentionally instead of a couple dozen times a day, 100 times a day? It's not difficult. So my message to you is, when your inner voice is saying something to you, or if you just are super fascinated by language and communication, which I can completely understand, I'm totally fascinated by it, talk to your doctor, get some referrals to some speech paths and say, I want to learn about language enrichment. I want to learn. My child's young, or I don't have any concerns about my child, but I want to support their language. How do I do it? Let me know how I do it. There's lots of resources out there too, through the federal government, that's on websites and everything, but it's not quite like having somebody sit right down with you and show you how to do it. So I'm going to encourage you to do that. I don't want you to think that the first time you can get help has to be this huge, big a differential diagnostic appointment that ends in a giant something that's fearful to you, and the only reason you're not going in to learn how to help your child is you're just not ready for that yet. Talk to a speech path. Talk to your pediatrician. It's fun. You're doing it anyway, and everyone enjoys it and everyone benefits from it. So that's my little piece of advice for today. All right, everybody. Talk to you next time.